Previously on Balls.
Hello.
Heyneke.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, very good. How are you doing?
Fine. Great to hear from you guys.
Nice to chat to you again. First time this year, and belated Happy New Year to you.
No, thank you very much. Same to you guys. No, it's a great year. It's almost finished the year, but lying ahead.
It's true, Heyneke.
I bet you wish it was at the end of the year and everyone's in a good mood, because that means it's been a good rugby season for everybody.
Yeah, it really was a tough year. A lot of guys retired and a lot of injuries, and without making excuses. But I'm very happy about the end of year tour.
Yeah.
Without sounding arrogant, we're the only team that was unbeaten, and although it was just, really happy. I think it did a lot for our confidence, and it's still a long way to go and a lot of hard work ahead.
Now, obviously, when you got the job, and everyone knows and everyone says it, and I think once again we talk about the people that have been in that position, that have been coaching or have played. They all sing off the same hymn sheet, and that is that you got the job and immediately were thrown into a test series and thrown into the next thing, and you could hardly catch your breath. Whereas maybe you might have needed that sort of period from then to now to be able to sort of get yourself prepared and ready and stuff. So you've had a chance now to sort of sit back, assess what's happened. How are you feeling right now? Is this time now to go, okay, now Heyneke Meyer and the Springboks can launch off this pad this year?
Yeah, definitely. I think the difficulty last year, and again, I always say that the biggest reason why people don't perform is excuses. I don't want to make excuses.
Yeah.
But if I can just put something on the record, is that I think the difficulty last year was that, it started quite late, and then a lot of the senior players moved on. And I think the biggest problem was that most of my coaching staff was still involved with Super Rugby, and it wasn't SA Rugby's fault. It was just just the way it happened. So a lot of all my assistant coaches were still involved with Super Rugby, and their main focus was Super Rugby. So although I was appointed, I was probably on my own and couldn't plan, and we had like 1 or 2 days off, and they would add days off to plan for the England series. I think the big difference now is we've really done a lot of planning with the whole coaching staff. We've been away on a management camp with the whole management, planned every single game, planned the logistics, where we're going to train. Our flights has been done by our operational manager. So the whole year is actually planned, and I spend daily meetings with my coaching staff, and we're going to go another camp where we review the whole year, look at every single breakdown, every single line out, and we do a lot of research at the moment. So I think if you take the same time this year, the same time, we're way ahead,
yeah.
And that's great. It's a great feeling. But you still have to can't be complacent, and you still have to plan, and still, it's just end of the day, still what you perform on the day. But it's much more continuity. I've learned a lot as well. We've got systems in place now where we monitor the players. So I think we're way ahead that we've been last year this time.
Absolutely. Well, look, the first question I actually wanted to ask you, and we got straight into the rugby aspect, was, did you actually have a chance to have a Christmas and a New Year break and a holiday, or has it all been about planning and planning for this year?
No, I'll be honest. I must say it was really a tough end of year tour. And, that was probably the first time in 15 years that I had a Christmas break, because usually I was straight into Super Rugby, or mostly into Super Rugby. So this is the first time I just took my family away for 2 weeks. But obviously you're never far from the rugby, and you really think what you've done wrong and where you can go better. But we've really been planning since probably the end of December. And I'm very happy with a great management team. And, we've really made a huge step up with our planning, and hopefully we'll have a much better season this year.
What happens when you take your family away and, it's some alone time, and you got people coming up to you every day? They recognize you, and they all want to put forth their theory on Springbok rugby and what they think, and you can't get away from the stuff.
It's actually a good question, because I was away overseas, and I thought I want to get out of South Africa just to relax with my family. And it's almost like, like to share it with you guys. It was a really humbling experience. I took my family away to Seychelles, one of the Southern Suns resorts there. And I was sitting right on the beachfront, and there was 2 little girls, a boy and a girl, walking right on the beach. And I must say, the people actually left me alone, and I love talking rugby with people, and I really want to make a difference in people's lives. So suddenly there was a boy and a girl and parents walking right in front of me on the beach, and then I saw a little kid, probably 8, 9 years old. The boy wrote W-E-L-L. I thought, maybe that's his name, or wants to write welcome or something. So then a girl came and wrote on the sand in huge big letters, Done, and I thought that maybe her name is Dene or something, and I didn't realize. And then they just wrote box, big box with a huge, huge uitroepteken of the Afrikaans word. So, I mean, that for me, that was emotional, unbelievable. Without coming to meet me, they just wrote "well done, box," and just ran away.
Yeah.
And then it was really humbling. And then I saw him like 2-3 days later, and they talked rugby. So it's great to get away, but if you see things like that, you just realize what the box means to the people of South Africa, and especially the kids, and that's really amazing.
Just be honest with us, Heyneke. They were your kids, eh?
No.
That's Simon Heyneke.
I tell you what, that's probably how I feel. I know my kids is sometimes positive about the box coach, but even they are cross with their dad sometimes because the whole school's giving them problems if you lose. So not even my kids, so it makes it more special than somebody else's kids. And I didn't pay them, I promise.
Look, I mean, the nice thing about it, and I think every coach is under pressure, but the nice thing about it is, and as I say, you sort of take heed of the people that have been there, that have been in the setup, played, coached, stuff like that. As I say, it's all the same message. Everyone is positive about the way forward. So, despite the fact that some people might have spoken about the way the Springboks played last year or game plans, etc., which you must have been sick of by the time you got on the plane to Seychelles, these guys are all saying, you just let Heyneke do his job. He's been there before. He knows what he's doing. And you almost now can sort of start off a clean slate this year and say, okay, we'll build off that platform. We've had some time now to sort of assess and look at 2013, and you've got a hell of a lot of support out there, which must be very encouraging for you as well.
Yeah, I've been really surprised. The people out there has been awesome. I've done a few talks and spent time with people and got consultants in, spoke to them about the way forward. And I've always said it's not about me, it's about the box. I'm always willing to listen to whoever. But I must say the general public is really being supportive and really positive, so I'm very happy with that. And sometimes, I've also looked at the whole year, like I said, and you obviously make mistakes, but it's also perceptions, it's the first time in, I think, the last 10 years, I think in 2007 was the last time that we've been unbeaten at the end of year tour. No one other team was unbeaten at the end of the year tour. Yeah. And, the nice thing is, I was very disappointed in those 2 draws because I think only 3 times before that we had only 3 losses in a year. And even in 2009, when we won the Tri-Nations and the British Lions tour, we've lost 4 times. So I was disappointed with the two draws and probably Dunedin as well. But I must say there's a lot of positives. And the strange thing is, although people say the way we played, we scored the second most tries, and we played 2 games less than the opposition. And we conceded the least amount of tries. So there is a lot of positives there as well. But I understand the public, and I don't want to see tries, and that's what I want to see as well. So I think the most important thing for us is not to be complacent. Much more planning this year, much better prepared, but it's still going to be tough this year, especially in the Castle Championship.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, looking ahead to this year, and there's 2 questions I want to ask you, and the first one is that the positive thing about last year was that I think we made a list, and there was 23 different players that had been out for a lot of the year, players that had been Springboks. Some of them very experienced Springboks, which we're all looking forward to coming back this year. So, that was the one positive. And then, of course, all these other youngsters that are coming up. So there's a lot of competition for different places in the box side. So if there's any bead of sweat that might be popping on your head now with Super Rugby around the corner for us, and already with these pre-season games and a couple of players picking up injuries, and also some of our players we were hoping to be back already, that have still got long-term injuries like 2 or 3 months to go. That's probably the one area that you'll really be sitting there saying, please let these guys just get through this and keep the injuries to a minimum.
No, definitely, Darren. I think without giving away too much, because obviously we talk confidentially, I spent the whole day with the Proteas yesterday, and it was great to speak with Graham and Gary, and just what made them so successful. And I think that came out of the 5-day team is that just the experience of that team, the leaders there and the experience, and guys that's been there and guys that played away from home, because obviously we struggled to win away from home, and that's a true mark of a championship team. So I spent a lot of time with them, and it's just great to see the composure of that team, and how relaxed they are before a test match, because they're so experienced. So obviously, one of those experienced players, and like you said, we've lost a lot of them, and you always want to bring those guys back, and I am worried about the injuries early on this season. But I suppose that's part of rugby, is always going to be of the amount of games we play. And I just think the great thing for me is that gives me some sort of, comfortability, is that we batted a lot of youngsters. It was like, even was 20 last year, suddenly he's become a man. So after 10 test matches, so suddenly, the experienced guys are still around. And, Bismarck has to come back, and a lot of great leaders as well. But suddenly there's a lot of youngsters that put up their hand. And, although the results, was tough at the end of year tour, I believe it was a mental battle that we won the end of year tour, because even Yanni du Plessis said to me, his experienced box, he's never won unbeaten at the end of year tour. And I just could see the enthusiasm and the confidence the guys got about, being unbeaten at the end of year tour. So suddenly after another Super Rugby, all those youngsters will be much better suited and will be much more confident. So I think we'll have a great squad, and it's going to be difficult to pick, and that's the situation I want to be in.
The other one I wanted to ask you is a very straightforward and simple one. What do you want to get out of Super Rugby this year? Forget about the teams that are playing and provincialism. From an overall South African point of view, what do you want to see coming out of Super Rugby from a South African point of view this year?
Yeah, obviously, it's not for me to say, because I know how tough that competition is, and even for those coaches, they're doing their best. But obviously, it will be great for me if we can win the competition. I just believe the more we beat those guys, the more we win trophies, the more it easier it gets for the Springbok coach. Because if you look at 2007, the Bulls and the Sharks played in the final, and even then I knew the guys are very confident for the World Cup.
You always have to bring that up.
Obviously,
you always have to bring that
up. So, I would love for the South African team to win it. I think, I haven't done it for the last 2 years, and I think it's time now. And I really believe that we can. I really believe we've got, quality sides that can win it. They've been close now a few times and been in finals, so I believe the South African team can definitely win it. And then obviously, I really want the guys to be able to win away from home. If you look at all our teams, they're very difficult to beat at home. But it is difficult winning in New Zealand. And if our Super Rugby teams can win there and win there comfortably and, on a regular basis, then it will definitely, get over to the Springbok side, and will help us a lot. And then there's a few aspects of our play. I would like to see our guys improving on the breakdown. That's one thing that we identified with the box that we're not happy with. And, our defense has been awesome in South Africa. I really believe, our defense is awesome with all our teams. Attacking-wise, obviously, we want the guys to score more tries, because it will also help our cause, and especially our backline play. But I think there's a lot of exciting youngsters, and they're really improving, and I just hope they can go out there and express themselves and have a few youngsters coming to the system. So I'm very positive about Super Rugby. I think it's a great competition, and I'm very positive about South African players playing there.
Final one for Heyneke, guys.
The last thing I would probably like to see is no injuries, but that's
that's
why
that
will ever happen in it. And maybe when they play each other to hold back and no injuries there, but
good
that's
luck.
Probably unfair. So
good luck with that memo.
I know, Johnny, am I going to have to ching-chong chow you for it?
No, it's fine. We can do it quickly. I'll very quickly.
Quickly. I'd like to know what plans Heyneke has up his sleeve.
Guys. I'd love to talk to you guys.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
Okay, I just want to know what plans Heyneke has up his sleeve for the All Blacks, because they're certainly setting the bar pretty high at the moment.
Also, England. I mean, after that result against them, I mean.
Yeah, but come on. I mean, you measure yourself against the All Blacks.
All right. Heyneke? Hello?
Oh, no, I asked the wrong question.
Heyneke, are you there?
Away.
Have we just lost the call there? Okay, we'll just try and redial.
Hello?
Sorry, Heyneke, we lost you there suddenly in mid...
Yes, sorry, man. Sorry. No, sorry. If I could just get straight back, so just to make a point is, so with single rooms, the All Black had 16 guys that got at single rooms. And we only had
we heard heard none of your...
We didn't hear the answer, we just got the question and then it was dead. So
okay.
You can just start again.
No, sorry. Now, I just said that when I was at the end of year 2, I spoke to the team manager of the All Blacks, just to make a point.
Yeah.
And I've asked them, how does their rooming list work? And they said every player that's played more than 50 test matches, they get a single room. And it's the same with the box. And I've asked them, how many guys did you have with single rooms? They had 16. And we had 2, John and Ruan.
Yeah.
So the point I want to make is they really have quality and experience side. But I think, and this is very important to me, that I truly believed in Dan Eden. We really played well. We should have won that game. If we didn't, because we weren't good enough and didn't put pressure into points, kicking it out down. But I really believe that the way we played there was the right way, and we should have beaten them on the day. And at Soccer City as well, we say 16-12 up, and just a stupid mistake after halftime. And I think, the one thing we need to change the way you play the All Blacks a specific way, and I had a conversation with Stuart Lancaster before they played him as well. I thought they played him exactly right. It just showed, especially in those conditions. So a lot of the times you get a lot of criticism from the All Black side, the way you play them, but sometimes I feel it's because they want to force you to play different against them. So I truly believe the game plan that we played against them is more or less the right game plan. But they say a quality side. If you don't keep the pressure on them, if you give them one soft moment in the game, they will penalise you.
Yeah.
So it is going to be tough because they're a quality side. But I truly believe the way we've played is a right game plan. We were in the games in both games, and we just need to execute better, handle the pressure better, and convert pressure into points, because we did have them under pressure.
And I was just leading on to that. I think a lot of the times, and technically, as you say, and a lot of people agree, Dunedin, everyone felt we should have won, and there have been games before, but I think sometimes when it comes to our old enemy, the All Blacks, a lot of it is in their head. You get into a state, into a position sometimes in the series against them, where mentally you just want to get over that little hump. And you just need to beat them once. You get the belief, the self-belief that you can beat them, and then you get the confidence, and then it comes again and again. And then they got the problem of trying to get over that mental. So it's a constant battle of wits between the two. Sometimes it's very much in their head, and it's got nothing to do with what kind of game or technical game you play.
Darren, you're 100% right. At the top level, there's not a big difference between the top 4 sides in the world, and I would say 80% plus is mentally. And I truly believe it was a big step up for the Boks in Dunedin. Guys like Yanni and Frans Steyn came to me and said, Coach, previous times when we beat them, we played worse, but we kicked 100%.
Yeah.
So they believe they can beat the All Blacks, and for me that was a huge step up. Surely it's still difficult, and I truly respect them, and I know every single game is a battle, and every single game is going to be tough. But I truly believe that our team will just get better, and a guy like Richie McCaw, which I truly respect as a leader and a player, came to me after the Soccer City game and says, Heyneke, we're really worried because your youngsters only get more experience and they get better. Yeah. So it's going to be a tough battle going ahead. So, I'm looking forward to the All Black Test matches. Like I said, it's always a 50-50. But I truly believe that the players believe that we can beat them now, and it's going to be a great, great experience. And I just believe we need to be fitter if we want to beat them, and hopefully the conditioners will work hard with the guys in Super Rugby, because I think that's the one area where they're ahead of us is their fitness. And they really peak at the right times, and they're really well conditioned. And that's one area that we've targeted as well, and have great conversations with the franchises to work on that, because we don't have the time. We only get them like a week or two before.
Yeah. Heyneke, you mentioned earlier on that you addressed the Test cricket squad. Something like this, where you have this sort of reciprocity, is obviously good going forward, where you have different sporting codes. They call on your expertise. I'm sure they must have loved every minute of what you had to say to them.
Yeah, it was really great. I've always said I want to learn from the best in the world, and it's a huge compliment to them. And one of the best teams in the world is in South Africa, so I'm going to go overseas as well and to spend time with the best franchises and learn from them, and especially the breakdown and scrummaging. But it's great to have one of the best teams in the world in South Africa. So we spend a lot of time with the analysing they do in the opponents, what we do, the mental side of the game, because they've really been successful. What they've done, especially when they had time to prepare mentally to going into the series, and handle the pressure without getting complacent. So it was really great to learn from them. I was really impressed with Gary, and especially Graham Smith was brilliant the way he spoke to our guys, or spoke to me, and gave us insights, and the way he's improved as well as a captain, because I truly believe John can also be a great captain, and we need more leaders around him. So especially the leadership side was awesome to speak to them and just to see how they train, and the culture is very important to them, and the same with us. And you could just see the guys are relaxed, they're really focused. And then we just spoke to them about the presentation on, what we do with the Boks, and what we have to cover in a week. And they were quite surprised, because, you get the guys just a week before a game, you have to do line-outs and calls and defense, and line-out calls and contesting and kick-offs and kicking patterns. So, it is a lot to cover. So there's lots of mutual respect, and I think it's great. And I also like to look at other sporting codes, and I think if we can work together in South Africa and help each other and give each other advice, we can definitely be the best sporting nation in the world. I really believe we've got the players and the people and the support.
We're very, very close if we're not there already. Just a final one. Now that Super Rugby is underway, do you have sort of schedule yourself to go and try and watch all our teams play, and do you sort of you're going to spread yourself around and go and watch some of the games, or do you sort of rely on the blanket coverage of television?
Yeah, Darren, you want to go to the games. We do go to the games, but sometimes, you sit in the box and you can't see the game, and there's a lot of PR involved as well. But I'm definitely going to go to the games. But what we also do is, I've got a system where all my assistants look at every single position and give me feedback every week. Also, I've got a Super Rugby coaches involved. And then we study the games afterwards and discuss, and that's a great thing having your full team now. We can discuss every single player every week. But the main thing I've done now is I'm on a road trip around all the franchises. I've been to the Cheetahs, and it's just great to see the guys really want to share and the positivity there. So my main goal is now to spend time at the franchises, see how they train, understand why Goosen is doing certain things or Kuni or whoever. So, really want to go around because you learn more from that. You see how they train, you see how they prepare, and you learn more from that than just watching the games, because then you know where they're coming from, you look at their fitness levels. And I think the great thing that's, I won't say never been done before, but I really want to make a step up on that, is to spend time with the franchises, because they've got the players for most of the year. We only got them for 12 weeks, and like we said, a week before a test. So they had them for 12 weeks just before their first warm-up game, and they're the guys that work with the team. So the great thing is that we spend a lot of time together, the conditioners, and I can just feel there's a positivity from them. And we work together and work on strengths and weaknesses of all the players and improve that through the franchises and look at game plans. And what is a great thing for me, which for me it's been new. My defensive coach has been around a lot of the franchises and did a lot of defense. He's worked with the Sharks and the Cheetahs and a lot of other teams as well. And myself and Johan van Gaal has been around, so I'm very excited through that, because only if you do those type of things, by the time they get to the box, at least it's more or less the same page that we're all on. So there's been a really positive input from their side, and I'm just thankful for them for the way they've treated us and help us to make South Africa the best team in the world.
There we go. It sounds all very, very positive and exciting ahead of another year of rugby ahead. Heyneke, we really appreciate the extensive time that you've given us this afternoon.
Yes, thanks, Heyneke.
Why don't give an ear that you could chat to us and just give us your thoughts as we lurch into a brand new rugby year properly for South Africa. All the best for the year. That's all we can wish you, and we're right behind you and the box, and we wish you all the best and look forward to chatting again sometime.
Thank you very much. Always great to chat to you guys, and like I said, I'm just really, really humble, and it's so great to coach the box. And I just want to be there for the people, and I just want to thank them for the support. I really hope we can make them proud, and it's just a huge honor, and I'm really thankful and grateful for the support. Thank you very much.
All the best, Heyneke. Tot ziens.
Thanks,
man.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Heyneke Meyer, extensive chat to him.
Nice.
Very nice.
Nice, Johnny.
Yeah, thanks. He said he's got all the time in the world for us.
Yeah,
it's a lovely.
You can hear that.
Yeah.
He's keen to chat. He loves chatting rugby as well, and that's the thing. He does like talking rugby.
This is Balls Visual Radio. Darren, Simon, Kate, and John. Weekdays from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central African Time. Balls.co.za